Hello there. In this video, I'll be walking you through the basics of the Star Wars Clone Trooper model kit by Bandai Hobby, as well as how to upgrade this shiny plain Clone Trooper here into the iconic 501st Clone Trooper. No 3D printed or extra parts, just some free time and some paint. This is a fun and easy kit that even a beginner would have a good time putting together. For the simple clone, all you really need is an X-Acto or hobby knife and a pair of sprue cutters, but nail clippers work well if you don't have those. Inside you'll find the manual and these sheets called runners. Set aside the runner labeled PCF6 off to the side until you're ready to assemble, and hang on to the box as well. This kit also comes with stickers and water decals. To start building, grab your sprue cutters and hobby knife. Cut the pieces free from the runners, and use the knife to whittle away the rest of the impurities. Be careful not to cut the small tabs used to connect the pieces to each other. Do this in order the manual specifies, and then you can go right to assembling. If you like, you can add stickers or the water decals, but I prefer painting on the details myself. When you are done, what you're left with is a very stunning and very accurate recreation of either the Phase 1 or Phase 2 Clone Trooper. Now, if you'd like to customize your trooper into something more like this, let's rewind a bit. Get your pieces cut and clean like before, but don't assemble yet. Set aside the black bodysuit pieces, and we're also going to separate the weapon pieces, shoulder, elbow, and knee straps, and the two mouthpieces. To paint the blasters, I use a dark gray on some parts. Depending on the blaster or a depiction of the blaster, these parts are actually dark gray, some of them. Then I add silver, gold, and rose gold wherever needed. Additionally, you could also use a gunmetal silver to lightly dry brush some damage onto the blasters. I paint the straps from earlier gray, rubbing away the excess on the edges with my finger or a toothpick. For the helmet vents, I use a thinned blue or black and gently apply red to the Phase 1 helmet fin. For the mouthpieces, I use a medium gray, being sure not to get paint where the quote-unquote teeth in the mouthpiece are. I also use silver or gunmetal gray on the tubes of the Phase 2 mouth. On the macro binoculars, I use a blue paint with a lot of paint thinner, and I only apply a little bit, letting it run through the visor. Moving on to masking the armor, you'll want some blue painter's tape and or yellow Tamiya tape. Cut the tape to size with an X-Acto knife, and it helps to use tweezers to apply the tape. Before painting, test out the paints you have on a plastic spoon to see their color when they're dry, as well as to see how easily they can be scraped before clear coating. For my 501st Trooper, I'm using Calidor Sky Base Paint by Citadel. It might be a little dark to some, especially after clear coating, but I think it looks good and looks fairly accurate. I apply a few coats of this and let it dry for a few hours before demasking. To simulate paint chipping, I use a toothpick or metal tweezers to scratch the paint. When doing this, remember that less is more when it comes to detail. To help dirty up our trooper, let's give him a black wash. Using black craft paint and paint thinner, apply a watery coat over all the pieces, wiping away after a few minutes or even after a few hours. This deepens and shadows the details and gives some of the armor a smoky look. If you don't have paint thinner, water will do just fine. Just make sure you've given your color paint a couple hours or even a couple days to fully cure. Lastly, for detail, I take an old brush, dip in a small amount of black paint, and rub it on a paper towel, and I stipple and sweep across the parts. This is called dry brushing. Go heavier on the edges as well as on the shins and feet where there's going to be more activity and connection to the ground. Once all of that is done, I add some painter's tape upside down to the boxes we saved from earlier and lay the pieces face up. You can also use paint clips if you have them. For clones, I like to use semi-gloss clear lacquer. For the black bodysuit pieces we set aside, I like to use matte black spray paint. And lastly, for the pieces seen here, I use a clear coat with a satin finish. After spraying everything off camera and letting them dry overnight, I assemble our 501st Trooper, and look at absolutely how incredible this guy looks. Comparing him to the shiny we made earlier, both have fantastic detail in their own respects, and you cannot go wrong no matter how you customize your clone if you choose to do so. The kit also gives you both helmets, both main blasters, binoculars with a Phase 2 helmet, 3 pairs of hands, and a stand with a footplate. With the help of 3D printed or spare parts, you can also make more unique clones like Captain Rex here. Please like and subscribe to help support my work. Let me know what you'd like to see next, and visit my Instagram to see more content like this. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye.